Guys, it's Minnesota Pro Paintball here with some tips and tricks for you for winter paintball out here, especially in Minnesota where it gets nice and cold. I think it was 0 degrees yesterday or a couple days ago. So we've got some stuff that should hopefully help you guys out because we have noticed some issues you guys have been having, especially at the big game. First and foremost, regardless of what kind of mask you have, especially when it's this cold out, there's going to be all kinds of condensation from you exhaling and breathing while you're playing. So I would recommend getting some Virtue Glint Spray from either the Minnetonka or Burnsville retail store or even out at the park. This stuff is great. It helps to protect your lens, but it also puts a nice protective anti-fog layer on there. So you shouldn't notice any of that condensation buildup on your mask, so you'll be able to see and stay in the game much longer and be a much bigger threat to the other team. Next, we got some gun maintenance ideas for you. First things first, we're going to talk about the electronic guns. The biggest thing you can do with any of these electronic guns is to make sure that you are not using too much lube on your drivetrain. What can happen, especially in the winter, is the oils and the greases can bind up and thicken up a lot more when it's cold out, which is going to cause issues like first shot drop off, bolt stick, pour cycling, stuff like that. Basically just things that are not going to allow the gun to function the way that it should. The next thing you want to do is make sure you're using a fresh battery. I know we've said that before, especially during the summer and the spring, but especially this time of year when it's cold out and the gun is already kind of having more demand expected out of it than it would be. A fresh battery is going to pretty much make your day a lot better and give you a lot less issues. Outside of that, clean the gun more often. Get all the old lube, the grease or oil, whatever it may be, depending on your gun. Get all that off there a lot more often and get new fresh stuff on there. Make sure you use a lot less than you normally would. Essentially what you want to do is make the O-rings appear as if they're wet. You don't want to be caking the grease on there or just dipping your drivetrain in oil. It's not going to work for you. And next we're going to have Paul.
What's up guys, it's Paul, Minnesota Pro Paintball. If you're happen to be using a mechanical marker like this, the same kind of principles apply. You're going to be wanting to use a little bit less oil than you're used to for the same reasons that Aaron was talking about. Also for the source of air, you have the option of CO2 or high pressure air. Any cold weather situation, you're going to be wanting to use high pressure air. If you don't have a high pressure air tank, we do have free rentals out at our park all winter long, so we can still hook you up that way. Other than that, just like you were saying, make sure your gun's clean before you go out and play. Spend a little bit more time wiping down, especially the breech on these. Having a squeegee will help too for when you do have barrel breaks, but that should make your experience a ton better. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give us a call. Hit us up on Facebook or Twitter here at Minnesota Pro Paintball. Thanks.